everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bigfoot Tales. I'm your host, Dan, the Bigfoot Dan. I'm coming to you from the glorious coastline of the state of Maine. And, as we go through a lot of the different sub-subjects of this genre we call cryptozoology, there's a lot of strange things that we come across, and we have no way of knowing for sure whether they're fact or fiction. Whether or not they're a totally made up thing, or whether it was based upon some truth. And we get a lot of questions as to from the evolutionary or evolutionist camp as to just how old dinosaurs are and things like that. Every now and again you come across a legend or piece of folklore that describes what seems to be possibly a dinosaur or something from that time that, according to the so-called experts, became extinct millions of years ago or so. But you have to wonder exactly how true that is, because nobody was around to see that happen. And there is no absolute proof as to when all of these things happened. Something that they claim occurred a million years ago might just as very easily have occurred, 1,000 years ago. Nobody was there to see it actually happen. So there is no irrefutable proof as to that. But all that aside, I come to this story that I came across the other day out of a newspaper called The Sun. It's from May 28th of 1899. It was a Sunday, and the paper's name, of course, is called The Sun. It's not the same Sun that many people think of today. They're a defunct publication now. But I came across this story as I'm doing some of my Pomoola research. It's titled "An Indian Devil's Visit." And it's of a gentleman of some, he's some sort of a immigrant. I'm not sure where he's from. His name is Nicholas, and that's his last name. His full name is actually Alexander Nicholas, but in this particular article, they simply call him Nicholas. Judging by the way they wrote this, I'm thinking that he might be some sort of possibly Prussian type of immigrant. I'm not really sure. Some of these words that they put in these older publications are questionable as to how they actually put them. You don't know whether they actually talk like that or not. What they're trying to do is exaggerate the accent of the person that's speaking. And when these old writers did that, they sometimes can put a different voice to the words that are on paper than what they would have in real life. But at any rate, we're going to talk today a little bit about saber-toothed tiger, and did they actually become extinct millions of years ago, or hundreds of thousands of years ago, or however some book-bound archaeologist or wants to claim it was. It's really hard to tell, again, because nobody was there to see it happen. However, let me just go into this article. It's titled "An Indian Devil's Visit." Subheaded, Nicholas tells of a meeting with a legendary beast, and the primary topper is the bulletproof power of the Maine woods that only a thunderbolt can slay. The hidden and also the scientific theory of the giant black tooth. And this supposedly, as an aside here, is actually something that is in existence. I've never seen it, but if I have time this year, I'm going to try to track this down and see if it's actually true, if it's still around somewheres, and what the story is behind that. Again, this is from 150 years ago, so it might be a little bit difficult to find, but back to the story. It's bylined Old Town, Maine, of May 26. And again, this comes from the year 1899. Him come some more. Last time I seen him. Big like some moose, 12-20 feet long. Him too shine like some icicle on the house gutter. Him grow more big as the locomotive holler. Him Pomoola this time for sure. I seen him. The stolid faces of the Indians, who heard Alexander Nicholas tell of his meeting with an Indian devil while trapping muskrats on the shores of Abal Stream at the base of Mount Katahdin, did not relax a muscle as the tale went on at interminable length. As he was a practical-minded Indian without a trace of imagination, his hearers knew he was not capable of inventing a lie, and the conviction grew that the storyteller had either seen an Indian devil in the flesh, or some strolling woodsman had played a practical joke upon him. As well as he can remember, the animal appeared to him on a May night, coming within 10 rods of the campfire, near which he was sitting skinning muskrats. As nearly as he could intimate, the visitor was fully 15 feet long from tip to tip. It was not a panther, because panthers are of the color of fresh iron rust, while the collar was prettily barred with stripes of slate gray and brown. What convinced him that the beast was an Indian devil was the presence of 4 long white tusks that protruded from the animal's mouth and shone like polished ivory. In all the traditions of the tribe, the men who had seen Indian devils had lived to tell about it, had described them as having great pointed tusks nearly a foot long. I'm skin him musquash and smoke him pipe, said Alex as he continued the tale. By I'll have seen, maybe 10 and look oop. What I see, you think? Mongrel, him all bar, set oop upon him tail, like some dog, and lap them chop so seem hungry. What I'm do? What you do? You been dar, hey? I throw him one musquash, what I skin. Him pick him up and eat him like some sausage. Course I throw him some more and some more after them. Which Pomoola eat him all. Voila, musquash what I skin all gone. Pomoola, him no more. Musquash skin pay 25 cents at the store. Alex skin not bring muching nowhere. Musquash skin mine longs. I have got. My skin Pomoola's pretty damn quick. I throw him musquash, but I don't yet skin, and by Pomoola him go away. I go away too, like I scared, and don't was stop drill. I greet home. What you say now, hey? Indian traditions that have been handed down in wigwam tales for centuries differ as to the size, coloring, and general habitats of the Indian devil, but all unite in declaring that he has 4 long, incurved canine teeth that hang outside his mouth, giving the creature a most ferocious look. The Abnaki story asserts that a pair of these animals, who are bullet and arrow-proof and defy all weapons except the thunderbolt, live on the steep side of Mount Katahdin, where they kill and eat moose and other large game, taking a sunburned brave or a squaw by way of a dessert whenever one happens to be nearby. As for the whites, an Indian devil will not taste of their flesh. Therefore, while a few Indians have survived a meeting with Pomoola, no Caucasian has ever seen one. A century ago, when the Old Town tribe contained more than 1,000 souls, Pomoola took 5 or 6 Indians as toil every year. In September 1823, a party of 21 braves and squaws were coming down the West Branch with 14 canoes loaded with moose and caribou meat when an Indian devil visited them overnight while they camped on the shore of Joe Mary Lake and killed 4. The fall rains had swollen the streams and made the current very swift. Though the flood favored the fleeing Indians, Pomoola overtook them on the following day, and swimming out, tipped over a canoe in South Twin Lake, drowning 2 braves and a squaw. The animal swam about in the lake for an hour, waiting for the bodies to come up, and then gave chase to the party. The Indians had passed from Elbow Lake into Millinocket Rips when they saw their enemy behind. There was a brisk gale blowing at the time, and the sky was dark with thunderclouds. As the canoes shot out of the rips into smooth water beyond, the men in the near canoe saw Pomoola stretch his striped legs up the trunk of a great yellow birch tree, testing his claws upon the hot, tough bark to see if they were sharp enough. When he was stretched out at full length, twice as long as a canoe for 4 men, a thunderbolt fell, splitting the tree into slivers and filling the air with a sulphurous smoke. As the vapor lifted, they saw the Indian devil lying dead on the bank of a stream. A line of scorched fur marked the passage of the lightning from the animal's nose to its hips, where the current divided and passed down the hind legs to the ground. One of the ivory tusks had been turned coal black by the strike, and others remained untouched. The body was taken to Old Town on 2 canoes, and for a week the Indians did nothing but celebrate the death of their ancient enemy. The black tooth was given to Saul Sockalexis, who was chief at that time. It is kept as an heirloom in the Sockalexis family. Though somewhat damaged from rough usage, it is 8 inches long, and the inside edge is still sharp. Scientific men who have examined the trophy are inclined to believe that it comes from the jaw of the saber-toothed tiger, an animal which geologists say lived in Maine about 6 million years ago. Opposed to this assertion is the tradition of the Sockalexis family, which declares that the tooth was taken from the upper jaw of an Indian devil that was killed by lightning in September 1823. And that's the end of the story. Again, you hear a lot of these folklore tales of, as I go through looking for information about what we call Bigfoot today, and this ancient, what I call tribe of people, and finding out more information about them from a folkloric aspect. But I come across a lot of these stories where dinosaurish or extinct animal sounding descriptions are given to many different things. For instance, there are, in fact, Indian, and I'll see if I can find some to put up here for you, but there are, in fact, Indian cave or rock carvings or paintings of what we call woolly mammoths and other large, strange-looking creatures that we call dinosaurs today that supposedly became extinct millions of years ago. But this whole aspect of sifting through all of this folklore at times gets pretty difficult, because it's hard to tell what's exaggerated, what's the truth, and what has been changed over the years. But anyhow, I just thought you'd enjoy that little story from the 1800s about a possible saber-toothed tiger having been in existence in Maine in the early 1800s, and whether or not this particular animal might have led to the existence of the tales of this legendary creature that the Indians called Pomoola. And that's it for today, just a short one, and hope you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe and come back for more Bigfoot tales, and until next time, happy squatching.